So, I'm cheating again. I like talking to you guys, even when you don't talk back. So, just now I finished completing a set of 6 videos talking about how I wish you'd read my fanfiction, and 5 of them was me describing which ones I believe that you should start with. But in talking about that, I was reminded of one that I'm particularly proud of that's quite short that I'm just going to read to you. So this one is one in the Namesake series, and it's called The Space Between Two Gates, and it's really, 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 really funny, I think. I don't know why no one laughs when I read it, so if you do laugh, let me know so that I don't feel like I'm crazy. Before I start, I'm just going to explain to you the characters in it. So, I've mentioned Tobirama and Hashirama before. Hashirama is one of my favorite characters because he's awesome, and he's a leader of the village. His little brother, Tobirama, tends to be sort of his more serious half. He's the one that takes care of business and makes sure that things are in order and taken care of and stuff. Meanwhile, Hashirama just kind of laughs and does his thing, and he's kind of an idiot at times, even if he is cool. So Tobirama's kind of a badass. Madara, who I've mentioned before, he and Tobirama don't like each other at all. Tobirama killed his last remaining little brother, and he kind of holds that against him. Can't really say I blame him. Tobirama also doesn't like Madara, because he doesn't find him to be very trustworthy, and of course he's too powerful and scary to let run wild. So they have a hate-hate relationship, even while Hashirama and Madara have a best friendship going on. And then the final character that I have in here is actually a made-up character, and his name is Hiroto Hyuga. And he's basically was just invented to be the clan chief of the Hyuga clan, and the Hyuga clan actually exists. So, this story is, the Namesake series was about explaining the origin of, well, not explaining the origin of, taking a character and butting them up to the thing they're named for the first time. This one I actually thought was going to be way harder than it was, because Tobirama means the space between two gates. And I was like, that one's hard to interpret. So I'm just gonna read you what I came up with on camera. I don't know, because I get pretty animated with the story, and if you like it, cool, and if you don't, whatever. So, I'm gonna get some space, because I get a little animated. And my camera's gonna be kind of off. I'm not going to be able to see the camera while I'm reading it, so if you can't see me, I'm sorry. So, Tobirama held the paper in his hands and inhaled a deep, exasperated breath. In his left hand, he held a hastily scrawled note on a torn-off piece of scrap paper. The words were sloppy, and there were a lot of exclamation points. A lot of exclamation points. He read the words and reread them, over and over again, committing them to memory. He didn't know why he cared to remember, only that it might be useful to remember. In his right hand, he held a different note from a different author. This one was much more composed, written in an elegantly flowing hand with expensive ink on especially prepared stationery. It smelled of roses. It was much more formal, starting with a "to whom it may concern" and ending with a "sincerely," but the effect was the same. In his left hand was a message from Madara Uchiha, head of the Uchiha clan and general pain in the ass. "Hey, bastard! Tell that puffed-up peacock to keep his snooty face out of the Uchiha grounds. If I see his self-righteous ass again, I'm going to put him out of his misery. I'm not signing this. You know who it is, you arrogant prick." In his right hand was the response from Hiroto Hyuga, the head of the Hyuga clan, and, as Madara so eloquently put it, self-righteous ass. "To whom it may concern, the Hyuga grounds are now considered permanently off-limits to any member of the Uchiha clan, on official business or otherwise. Please ensure that this is enforced, as we can no longer guarantee the safety of Madara and his family. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Sincerely, Hiroto Hyuga of the esteemed Hyuga clan." To his left yawned the gate of the Uchiha grounds. Madara left it open, daring any to enter. No one went in there unless they had a really good reason to go in there. The Uchiha were a prickly lot, and did not suffer fools at all. If you wanted to go for a happy stroll in the Uchiha territory, you'd better be prepared to answer a lot of questions about who you were and why you felt you needed to be there. You probably should also be prepared to be escorted for the duration of your time there, and probably roughly escorted back to the same gate you had used for entry. Swiftly. To his right was the Hyuga gate, primly locked up like a virgin's bedroom. No one even went in there without ringing the bell and asking for permission. The gate was prettily decorated and bordered with lilac shrubs, dispensing offensive perfumes upon all who walked past. There had been many petitions, all started by an Uchiha, to have the shrubs cut down for disturbing the peace. The latest chapter in the Uchiha vs. Hyuga drama had been because one of the more mischievous Uchiha, probably Madara himself, had sneaked onto Hyuga property to cut down Hiruto's prized carob tree. Tobirama himself didn't actually blame the perpetrator. It was a tree that was known to smell like semen, but Hiruto used the beans to make a fine and fancy chocolate. The Hyuga had been incensed when they found out and demanded recompense, but since no one who could prove who had done it and therefore could not mete out punishments, they had, allegedly of course, sent one of their representatives onto the Uchiha grounds to plant lilac shrubs in every hidden corner of the compound, hoping some of them would escape notice, blossom, and piss off every Uchiha in the area. It was a fine joke. Unless you were Tobirama, standing in the space between two gates with two notes in hand and two furious clan heads feuding about the cum tree and its gay little purple friends. What was he supposed to do about this? You have an odd sense of humor, Hashirama, he grumbled aloud, wishing his brother had the time to take care of this today instead of sending him off with a bright and cheery, "It will be fun! Truly, I wish I could go in your stead, but there's just so much to do today, I don't know when I'd find the time," and a gentle shove to get him out of his office. In his left hand, he held a note that, for all intents and purposes, basically told the Hyuga leader to go fuck himself. In his right, he held a note that generally said, "Please tell Mr. Madara that he can kindly go fuck himself, thanks much." He put the letter from Madara on top of the letter from Hiruto and smiled, then proceeded to tear them gleefully into the tiniest pieces he could possibly make and toss them in the air like confetti. They fell to the ground like so many lilac petals, perfectly placed so that Hyuga and Uchiha alike could trample them into the dirt. Let the two clan leaders kill each other then. They'd do the whole village a favor in the end. It was the happiest moment of his entire day. That's the end of that one. The carob tree thing? It's actually a thing. Isn't that gross? So that's the end of this. I've read it aloud to a couple people, and the most I get is a tiny little chuckle, and it upsets me. But there you go. You're welcome.